So I'm sure you've all seen the news by now, but the IFBB have just released the new rules of how you get qualified for Olympia 2026, and I'm not surprised that we are here. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Phoebe Hagan, IFBB Bikini Pro from the UK. Today we're going to do a quick video, but we're going to be discussing the news that just got released yesterday. So as of the 15th of September 2025, we are now going to be entering in a new era of how we get qualified for the Olympia of 2026, if you are within the Pro League. So the current system at the moment to how you get qualified for the Olympia is you win a pro show and you are qualified. The problem that I think a lot of people have seen or discussed or that have brought up is that there are now way too many people at the Olympia. For example, at the Olympia, I think at the moment there are around 70 plus bikini girls qualified for the Olympia of 2025, which again is not a bad thing. They've earned their way to be there, but does it put a little bit of strain on then how prestigious the show is? In my opinion, yes. And I think a lot of people can agree on that. So now the new system that they actually have already done previously in 2018 and 2019 is they're now going to be doing a points system. Now, what is the points system, you may ask? So if you are classic physique, men's physique, bikini, or wellness, only 5 shows will qualify you if you win the show. So you've got the Arnold Classic, you've got Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, Romania Muscle Fest, and the Dubai Pro. If you win one of those shows, you will automatically get invited to the Olympia. If you get top 3 at the Olympia, you also get an automatic qualification. Now, for anything outside of those shows, it is done on a point system or if you win 2 shows. So, for example, the point system for any shows outside of those ones I've just mentioned, first place you get 10 points, second place you get 4, third place you get 3, fourth place you get 2, and fifth place you get 1 point. So now you'll get a point system for every time you place at a show. At the end of the competing year, which is the 30th of August 2026, top 25 who are on that point system list will be going to the Olympia. I think there was quite a lot of confusion where people thought that there were only 25 people qualified for the Olympia, which is incorrect. And then the other way that you can also get qualified is if you win 2 shows within that competing year. So if you win 2 shows that are outside of the list that I mentioned, you get qualified. They did have this system in 2018 and 2019, so I think it's now just a lot more refined. How they did it in 2018 and 2019 was there was a little bit more discretion. There was no you win, you're in. It was only a case of points, which was a little bit more difficult. And I actually competed within that time of 2018 and 2019. And don't get me wrong, I competed in the point system of 2018 and 2019, and it wasn't for the faint-hearted. And I'll get to that in a second of what I think of the pros and cons. But I do think this is going to be a way to make the Olympia a lot more prestigious and also so many more things. Now let's get into the pros and cons of it. My pros as to why I think this is a good idea. The first one being the Olympia will always be the most prestigious show, but now it's even becoming more exclusive. The Olympia now is also going to be so much more enjoyable for the consumer, so for the fans, the judges, and the athletes. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great that there's so many people that can get qualified for the Olympia because they have worked their ass to get there. But competing in the Olympia with that many competitors, it's really, really tough. Like, you have to go on stage and you wait a long amount of time. You go on stage for 2 minutes and then your time is up. I think it makes the whole experience just kind of lengthened out in a way that isn't enjoyable for the athlete and for the judge, because the judges have to be there all day. So I think it makes it a lot more exclusive. I think it's going to be super exciting for the fans because you're going to be able to see your favorite athletes competing a lot more as well because they need to keep competing. And from an athlete's perspective, in my opinion, I do think it's a good thing because now you are still focusing on that win, don't get me wrong, but the top 5 actually means something a lot more. I think for my own personal experience and people that I've posed previously beforehand, they're only focusing on that win. And then when they don't win, it's like a loss. And I do think that it's good to make 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th mean something within the Pro League, because getting a top 5 in a pro show is really, really good. But I think over the years, because the Olympia was only, your win and you're in, people were only focusing on first. Now people getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, they didn't care for it because they're like, well, it's not winning, which I think is a good mindset, but also it allows us to really appreciate the placing that we get within the Pro League because it's a huge deal. So now every bit counts. And I personally think that makes people a lot more inspired and a lot more motivated to compete as well. Now for the cons. The one I've seen circle around the most is that the competitors are going to have to compete a lot more. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing to compete more, because the more time you get on stage, the more experience you get, the better you can also get as well. But on the flip side, I think people are concerned about competing that much to try and get qualified for the Olympia now, which in my opinion is the whole point. The Olympia isn't something where you go to and it should be easy. You should have to be like, I have to grind my hardest I ever have done to get to this show, because it's the biggest show in bodybuilding. It's like the same as the Olympics. The Olympics is once in every 4 years and it's not easy to get to. And it's the same with the Olympia. It shouldn't be easy to get to, or it shouldn't be a thought process where, oh, it's only doing this or it's only doing that to get there. You should have to be able to grind your hardest to get to the biggest show in the world. Another one that people have mentioned is that the pro shows are going to be a lot bigger as well. Again, I don't think that's a bad thing. And here's my reason why. One, the pro shows are always going to get bigger because there are more pros now than ever before. So there's going to be a lot more people within those pro shows. Now, the more people there are in those pro shows, the more spectators will be coming. The more people pay for tickets, for merch, for whatever. So that production gets a lot more money, right? Which that money can then go on to the athletes getting more prize money, doing more for the athletes, getting better stage lighting, getting a lot more things. So this isn't a bad thing that the shows are growing. It actually needs to happen for bodybuilding in general, so then the athletes can get more from the shows. So again, like I said, I think people look at it from a perspective, oh, there's more people going to be at these shows. Yeah, but more people equals more sales, equals more money, which equals more things for the athletes ultimately. That's how I see it. So again, these are the cons that I have seen online. Those aren't my particular cons personally, but I understand why they are people's cons. Now for the questions that I've seen, because there were a lot of really interesting comments underneath the post that they made yesterday, and I kind of wanted to go through a few of the questions. So one of them is, why not lower how many pro shows you have? And like I said, because there are more athletes, there's more pros than ever before, especially over in the US with all the national shows and all that type of thing. There's more pros, meaning there needs to be more shows as well to hold that. Is it only 25 slots for the Olympia? No, like I spoke about before, it is 25 on the point system. If you have won 2 pro shows, then you are not on the points list. That takes you off and you're just qualified. Same if you win one of those 5 shows, and if you are top 3 at the Olympia of 2025. Does this apply for previous Mr. Olympia winners? No, because they get lifetime qualification. So anyone who's won the Olympia previously beforehand, I think it's in their division, they will always be lifetime qualified. Does this change anything for 2025 Olympia list? No, and I don't think it should. So this is effective from the 15th of September, which is when the cutoff ends and the new year of 2026 Olympia qualification begins. I saw a few people were saying that that should be made into movements now, and I don't agree, because every pro that has gotten ready for this Olympia in 2025 has followed the rules that the IFBB have set. They've won a pro show and they are now qualified. Those were the rules. I don't think it would be fair if they would ever to change it now for 2025, because that athlete has followed everything they need to do. So obviously there's going to be a lot of people at the Olympia this year, and next year might be a little bit different. I see fit model on the system. What does this mean for 2026? So from what it looks like, they've obviously on the system put that the fit model is also going to be included within Olympia system, meaning if you win a pro show, you will get qualified for the fit model of the Olympia, meaning there will be, from what it looks like, fit model will be in the Olympia of 2026, which is something they did mention when they released this news that fit model was a thing. They released and also said that there will be pro shows in 2026. So from what it sounds like, it's kind of a confirmation to say, yes, fit model is going to be in the Olympia for 2026. Overall, I think this is a really good thing for the IFBB and the pro athletes, because the more people we can get competing on a whole level basis at smaller shows, at any shows in general that are being put on, the more that there can be done for the athletes. So I think this is a really good thing. Yes, it's going to be harder to get to the Olympia, but mindset wise, try and allow yourself to sink into that hard and understand that This is the biggest show in bodybuilding. It is not something that is going to be easy. It's going to be hard. That's what you should be gearing up for. So strap in, get ready, and like, I'm very excited for 2026, and hopefully I will be on that 2026 Olympia stage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel because it really helps support my channel. If you are an amateur or pro that is looking for posing help, please head down to the description below. And if you want to sign up and pose with me, you can do just that on the Posing Portal app. We have so many different things on there that is going to help you be the best you can be with your posing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.